imaging of neck spaces, anatomy and the relevant pathologies. The layout of the lecture is as seen in the slide: anatomy, divisions, spaces, margin, extent of each space, contents, and depending on that the pathologies which we encounter in a particular space. Now there are certain issues in neck spaces because of which it seems to be slightly complicated, because neck spaces have been classified by various means and then they have been de and reclassified. So there is not really a consensus on spaces and nomenclature, and as far as clinicians are concerned it's triangles for them, whereas for radiologists it is spaces. So we'll try and put everything together and see how it works. I have used the Hansberger technique of classification of spaces. So for clinicians, as I said, is triangles, they examine the triangles, and for us is actual spaces. So this is our line diagram of neck spaces. I am sure everybody is aware of this, the division of triangles. And then you have the fascia of the neck, superficial fascia and the deep fascia. So superficial fascia is really directly under the skin. It's not really important, and it does not play any role when you say neck spaces, because it does not form partitions or divides neck into any space. And deep fascia would be general investing, pretracheal and prevertebral. So there are three sub-classification of the deep fascia. Now something which we have to remember is that the fascia are vertical. There is no horizontal fascia and hence there is no vertical separation. So you have the axial spaces what you see on the CT and the MR scans, and by and large non-squamous cell lesions are confined by fascia. That is, only the squamous cell lesions will be infiltrative, but all the benign lesions, we are talking about lesions here and not something like an infection or inflammation, but as far as neoplasms